Hey everybody! This week on Ask Kristen, I'm talking about picking whether you want to have a girl baby or a boy baby. If I could pick whatever bun came out of my oven, I would pick a puppy bun. Not because I want to give birth to a puppy, but that I would rather, at this point in my life, have a dog than a baby. Especially if it's a baby dog. No offense, 13-year-old black lab sleeping on the other side of the wall. I love you! This week's Ask Kristen question is coming from Benjamin Rome Clark, who wants to know, should parents have the right to choose the gender of their child? Dramatic read. At least the way that this question is worded, I am led to believe that we're conflating gender with biological sex. So the primary medical reason that parents might opt for sex selecting their baby is to avoid passing along sex-linked genetic disorders. The main two of those that come up in these conversations are Duchenne's muscular dystrophy and hemophilia. Since these kinds of genetic disorders run more strongly among boys, you might sex select then to have a girl instead. But once we move beyond those medical concerns, then we get into the area of so-called family balancing, which is what one enterprising doctor came up with as the more ethically palatable term for parents just really wanting a daughter or a son. More than $20,000. That's the average cost of a single round of in vitro fertilization with a little test called pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. As far as I understand it, with that technique, the biological sex of the embryo would be determined outside of the womb, and then once you get the right kind, it would then be implanted into the uterus, and hopefully a brand new baby boy or girl would develop. There's another less invasive technique, which sounds really fun, called sperm sorting, in which spermatozoa are separated into X's and Y's, and depending on obviously whether you want the girl baby or boy baby, you pick that sperm that is then shot into the vagina. Ugh. I don't think it goes like that at all. While this isn't illegal in the United States, it's ethically dubious for a lot of people, including the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, which released a position paper on it saying that, look, for medical purposes, this technology is all fine, well, and good to use, but we do not endorse non-medical uses of it because of concerns with valuing boys over girls or girls over boys, because this is the interesting thing. In places like China and India, sex-selective abortions are still fairly common for baby girls. But here in the United States, when it comes to this sex-selective prenatal process, girls are what parents want 80% of the time, partially because statistically there are 105 boys born for every 100 girls. Now that's still a ton of girls. We are living in a time where kids, regardless of what body they might exit the womb with, are hopefully freer than ever before to be the people they are most comfortable being. I would be concerned that a parent who is so intent on having a little boy or a little girl might not be quite as accepting of the person that that child really wants to be. So I'm really curious to hear from all of you watching what you think. Is it a dangerous slippery slope to where suddenly we're getting these designer babies? Or should it be a matter of parental privacy, of you choose your choice and that should be fine? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks everybody who watched and commented on last week's Ask Kristen video, American girls versus European women, which raised a lot of questions about, do I understand that Europe is made up of a number of distinct countries with distinct cultures and histories? And the answer is yes. Isabella said, Europe is not United States of Europe. German culture is different from Spanish culture. Dutch are different from Polish. You can't make this comparing. Nope. Madame Lecorne said, I'm Dutch and I do think the stereotypes go both ways. European guys think they can get ladies more easily in the United States because of their European dialects and because of stereotypes we have here about women in the USA being easier than women in our country. Finally, Ingborg Kormi commented, as a Nordic woman, I have to say there is a difference between us Northerners and those Southerners. I am at least always struck when I travel to Southern Europe by all the makeup, the heels, and the feminine clothing. I think women from colder places have more in common than with women from warmer places. So maybe that's part of it. As always, if you have questions, ask them below so I can give you some answers.